Assalamu alaikum friends, my name is Mohammed Yunus and I am Odoo technical developer. If you haven't subscribed our channel Odoo discussions, please show your support and click the red subscribe button so that you can get the updates of the upcoming videos. In today's video, we are going to discuss about another important topic, which is wizards and transient models. So let me just show you that what we are going to achieve at the end of this topic. So if we go here and go to the Open Academy module and then click on the sessions. So what I want here that if I go to the tree view and I want to add participants in these sessions uh, in bulk. For example, I want to select these in the list view and then here I want to add a button like this, add attendees, and when I click here a wizard will open up. This is called the wizard, and at the end of the sessions, like not this video just, but this will be divided in parts because this is a topic that needs much attention, and I will explain in much details. So it will open up, and here I can select attendees that I want to add. For example, I want to add this one and select. So this will be added here. So when I click the subscribe button, these two attendees will be added to these three sessions. First of all, we will discuss about the wizards and transient model. Wizards describe interactive sessions with user or dialog boxes through dynamic forms. So this is the dialog box. A wizard is simply a model that extends the class transient model instead of model. For example, for normal models, we use a model class and inherit the model class, but in case of wizards, we will use transient model. Why we are using this? Because the class transient extend model and reuse all its existing mechanism with the following particular. So why we are using transient models for wizards? These are the three things that these are the three reasons that we are using transient model. Wizards are not meant to be persistent, so it is not permanent. They are automatically deleted from the database after certain time. This is why they are called transient. So whenever we click on the add attendees button, so it will create a record inside the uh, transient model, but this transient model is not permanent and these records will not be permanent, but it will be deleted from the database after some time. But the subscribe button will add these attendees in these permanent models. So wizards are mostly used to update the record on the basis of some conditions and some methods and to collect the data from different models. And also it is used for reporting purposes to print reports. So we will just cover this later. But for time being, you will have to stay with these details. Wizards model do not require explicit access rights. So another important thing is that you need to understand that for normal models, we have to define access rights. Otherwise, user will not be able to those models and those records. But in case of wizards, we have added this wizard, and this wizard will be accessible to each and every user, and we don't need to add any access right. So access right will not work in case of wizards and transient models. So wizard records may refer to regular records or wizards records through many to one fields. This means that here you can access the normal Odoo models. You can create a relation of many to one with a normal Odoo model from a transient model, but we cannot create a normal Odoo model with a transient model. So you will just understand this later. What we are going to do in this lesson, we want to create a wizard that allow users to create attendees for a particular sessions or for a list of session at once. As I explained at the start of the video, that what we want to do, we want to add attendees for multiple session at once. So our first step is to add a new file, wizard.py, insert our models, and then add that file inside the init file. So let me just go here in our module. We will have to add here wizard.py will be added automatically because the type is py, and then add that file inside the init file from dot import wizard. This way you can add the py file inside the init. So after that, what we need to add, we need to import the models, fields, and API. So let me just do it from here, from Odoo import models, fields, and API. After that, define a class for the model. So let me just copy it from here to save our time, and then paste it here. So I will explain here. This is the name of the class. And here for normal model we write it like models dot model, but in case of whenever we want to define some wizards, we will have to add transient models, because transient models are temporary and it should be removed after some time. This is the name of the technical name of the model, openacademy.wizards. You can edit anything here, and this is the descriptions that will show up against each record. Session ID. So what we need to do here, first of all, create a wizard with many-to-one relationship with session model. We have to create a session ID is equal to many-to-one relationship with openacademy.sessions, and this is the string attribute that is the label of this field, and then it should be required true. This means that this field must be filled, otherwise we will not be able to save this record. And the second thing is to add a session model, and a many-to-many relationship with the partner model. So here we have added attendee IDs is equal to field start many-to-many, and attendee model is arrays.partner, and string is attendees. So we have added these two fields inside the wizard model. So this is it. This is the definition of the wizard and model, which is transit, which is of type transient. And after that, let me just restart the service, because we have added a new model, and then go to our module, and let me upgrade the module, and then we will be able to see the model that has been added. So let me upgrade the module, and then we will see inside the technical settings that the new model we have added. So go to the settings, and then under we cannot see the technical setting because the debug mode is not activated. In order to activate the debug mode, you need to add after the web the question mark debug is equal to 1, and then hash, and then enter. So the debug mode is activated, and then under the technical menu you will be able to see, if you scroll down, database structure, and here you can see models. So if we type openacademy.wizard, and here we can see that the model has been added, openacademy. This is the technical name, this is the description that we have added, and this is the module in which we have defined it. Here you can see that the transit model check is true. So some of the fields that have been added by default along with the module, along with the fields that we have added inside our Python files. One is attendee IDs, that is many to many, and the one is session ID, that is many to one. So this is it for mm, the model definition. And in the next step, what we are going to do is to add and to launch the wizards. So wizards are launched by ir.actions.act window records. This is the normal action model with the field target set to new. So when we set the target as new, then the action will be open up as a wizard. The later opens the wizard into a pop-up window. The action may be triggered by the menu item. So there are two options to trigger the wizards. One is to do it through the menu item, and the other one is to do it through the actions. There are multiple ways, like you can do it through a button also. So there are many ways. It depends on the requirements. There is another way to launch the wizard using the ir.actions that wizard record like above, but the extra field binding model. So whenever you want to uh, open up the wizards through the action menu, then you will have to add this binding model field. This binding model ID will refer to the model in which you want to show this uh, wizard, this action. For example, in our case, we want to show this wizard in the OpenAcademy.session model. So our binding model will be OpenAcademy.sessions. That specify in the context of which model the actions is available. The wizard will appear in the contextual actions of model above the tree view, above the main view. Because of some internal hooks in the ORM, that such an action is declared in the XML as act window. So we will have to define this here. Wizards use regular views and their buttons may be used. So this is just the thing that I will demonstrate at the time when I will edit launching a wizard. Define a form view for the wizard as we have added the model and add the definition inside the Python file. Now the time is to add a form view for the wizard. So as we can see here, the form view has already been added here. So let me just copy it from here and then go to the open academy.xml file. Here at the bottom, just paste this code, and the definition of the view form view for the wizard is just the same as the normal form view definitions, like model name ir.ui.view. This is the ID and this is the model. This is the label of the form view, and here we have added some fields. After that, what we are going to do, add an action to launch it in the context of the sessions model. So this is the act window that we are going to add in order to open the wizards from the contextual menu. So I will show you that what I mean by the contextual menu. So here we have to define the take act window ID. Should be ID. You can define it anything, but it should be unique. And this is the name of the name of the button that will appear on the screen. Binding model, which I show you that this model should be the model on which you want to show this action, and raise model is the model of the action. View mode is form, obviously, and target should be new, so that it should open as a wizard. And after that, define a default value for the session field in the wizard. uh, Before going to add this thing, let me just upgrade the module and show you this thing that what we have been added so far, in order to understand each and every step. So let me just upgrade the module, go to apps here, and sorry, go to apps, and then here you will see the upgrade button, upgrade the module. And after the module upgrade, you will be able to see the button, but there's not anything behind, nothing, no functionality has been added yet. So go to Open Academy and then sessions, and then here you will have to switch to the tree view, and then click here, select any record or all of the records, and then click on the action. This action menu is the contextual menu, contextual action menu. So here you can see that 8 attendees has been added. So if I click here and on this view, I can see just empty records like the sessions. I will have to select it manually, and here I have the attendees field. This is just the skeleton that has been added, the structure that has been defined. So furthermore, I will add some default values for this session ID. So let me just do it here and show you. For example, define a default value for the session field in the wizard. Use the context parameter to retrieve the current session. So how you can use context, and what is the purpose of the context? Context is basically used to transfer one model's value to another model. um, so you can move these values using the context, and contexts are really important, which is in the form of Python dictionary. So let me just do it here. What I can do, I will have to add uh, another parameter on the wizard, and on the sessions I will add a default parameter, which will be used to define the default value of this field. Here let me just copy the name to keep it same. Default sessions will be used to get the default sessions. This is, so let me just here define the method also, default sessions. So if here we have to get the current model ID, the model that we select on the tree view, and then it should be added automatically here. For example, if I open up this record, and when I click this add attendees button, it should open up, it should pop up, and the session field should be by default this one. So let me just how I can do it using the context. So if I so let me just print the context self dot to show you how the context is working. So let me just restart server, the start it, and then if we go here to the Open Academy and then sessions, and here under session switch to the tree view and then open this record. So I will show you in the logs. For example, if I go here and click the attendance button, so and then if you check here, this is the context that is being passed to the wizard model. So here we can see active id. Active id is the record of the record is the id of the record that is currently opened or selected. So in this way we can get the current id of the record. So let me just copy this in order to keep it same. Return self.env, and here we have to pass the model name to which the record is referenced, openacademy.sessions. Browse here, this will give us the ID of the currently selected record or currently open record. So let me just restart the service and then we will see the change. So let me just cancel it and then add the attendees button here. So let me click here. So here we can see that this record has been selected by default. So if I switch to the tree view in the sessions and then select this record, and then click attendees, so we will see that this record has been selected by default. So this way we can add some default value using the context in the wizard and model. So this is it. We have added the some form view, and then we have added these actions, and then we added a method to define to add some default value on the field, and then we were able to launch the wizard and added the default value for that wizard. If you haven't subscribed our channel Odoo Discussions, please show your support and click the red subscribe button so that you can get the updates of the upcoming videos. Thank you.